Greetings from the beautiful San Francisco Bay Area. We are live for 5 Play Friday, our penultimate live stream of the season. What? It's flown by. Hope everyone's doing well. Greetings. My name is Greg Austin with a Better Official. And we are certainly looking at plays today as the season comes to its conclusion. Congratulations to everybody who still has games. That is tremendous. Paul from Wellersburg, PA, population 200, where everybody knows their neighbor and all the children are above average. Tom, good to see you from Milwaukee. Joseph Del Colo from the SC. I'm familiar with the SC. Yes, we like it. Jason Hayes, still in business. Okay. Is there any sort of a suspense about what could happen? Has everybody been selected all the way? Here in California, we don't know. Right, there's playoff assignments for the state tournament. There's Northern California and Southern California. There's assignments. You may know, you get a hint at what your future will be, but it's really not finalized until the final weeks of the final games of the tournament. Who is going to be working, etc. There are variables there. Adam C. Yes, it's all about green here today. Michigan in the news. So there's a clip on the Facebook pages of an official literally being assaulted by multiple members of a team. The most incredible video imaginable. I mean, they're throwing the ball at him. They're throwing water bottles at him. The security personnel is relatively useless. It's just incredible scene. I don't know what is in the water up there. I think technically we were under. I think I hit the live button with about 3 seconds to go. Whether it takes effect immediately or it takes a moment, I don't know. We're going to have to go to the tape. We're going to have to review that. Chuck, staying busy. All right. Excellent. Different crews. I mean, at this point, I assume here in our part of the world, it's always different crews, right? You may, when you get into the state tournament, you may have a crew you are working with, but in the early rounds, it might be broken up. So, but I know everything is different. Some parts of the world, I guess, officials work with the same partners throughout the season. Absolutely foreign concept to me here. Yeah. Good morning, Grace. Good to see you. All right, Mike. When somebody said, congratulations, Mike Goodwin, I thought it was because you had once again been selected for the most prestigious Flow awarded nationally. Congrats, Mike. That's tremendous. Get on a plane. Get on a little puddle hopper, or you're going to take a snowmobile. Good morning, Vic. Vic had a question about blood on uniforms the other day. Of course, a player who is bleeding, we have new rules to help them. And I'm curious, has this rule had an impact on your games? Have you had situations, no, we're going to have a 20-second, it may here when games are most important, playoffs, etc. But to me, the imposition of this rule from other levels, NCAA women's and men's, not a real fit. most high school teams don't have the ability. They don't have the trainer with the spray and the ability to repair the jersey in the 20 seconds. But anyway, if a player has blood on their jersey and it cannot be reconciled within that time, then the coach could at that point take a timeout. During the timeout, we could pull that blood jersey out of the bag. They have an extra jersey. The player would then put that jersey on. Of course, they have to leave the visual confines to remove their previous bloody jersey. Always a nettlesome thing to manage. Oh, wait a minute. Can't have it. Always a nettlesome thing to manage, right? You've got to leave the visual confines, then remove, then replace, etc. But they can legally then go back. Hey, scorer 55 is now number 12 in his undersized jersey that doesn't fit very well. Or, of course, the opportunity exists to say, hey, Billy, he's my favorite jersey giver-upper, is Billy on the end of the bench. Remove your jersey. Of course, we can't remove a jersey in the visual confines. It's a very messy situation, but the player could then participate wearing that team member's jersey for the remainder of the game. And then, of course, you can try to figure out whether Billy can then ultimately participate in the game. Yeah, so that's what's going on with that, Vic. And good to see you. Yeah, there's also a video from Iowa where bottles being thrown on the court by fans. Very disconcerting in our country where the aggrieved feel they have a prominent role. Hey, Gore. Good to see you. Northwest Indiana. Awesome. Hey, I'm curious, that girls game. Remember, so we had a play where the girls game ended with a possible 3-point goal, possible 2-point goal. It's a tie score. The officials leave the visual confines, refuse to come back. And of course, I never followed up on that. Apparently what happened is, on that play, is the crew did come back to the table thinking that the question was that final shot. Was it a 2 or was it a 3? Thinking that was the question. They answered the question, right? So they didn't just run off the court. They came back, answered the question, and then left, thinking that we've resolved all the issues in the game, and then refused to come back, which I think they were supported by rule in doing that, as odd as that seems. So, the video itself did not show the crew returning. But yeah, that's what happened in that situation. But I'm curious, the teams ultimately were allowed to complete the game, how that actually went. I never found out. Oh, always good advice. Always good advice. Oh, wait a minute. Are we now Jack and not Patty? Aren't you Patty and I'm confused. Excellent. Good judgment, Lynn. Michael, what is going on in Michigan? What the hell is going on in Michigan? Awesome, Aaron. Awesome. Playoff games on the horizon. By rule, no. Because, if we think about it, point of interruption. What is the point of interruption? Would be, wherever the ball was, team control, etc. Now, if we had a double foul during a situation where there was no team control, right? Team, how would that happen? Yeah, there's no change of the shot clock. Let's leave it at that. Good morning, Stan from Pinole. Awesome. Chris Janish from Sioux Falls. Hope all is well for you, Chris. Mark, good to see you. That Steelers logo. I think Mark and I had a little email exchange. Oh, Billy Mack, I got great news. We've actually got not 5 plays today. We got 6 plays, and they're all jump ball plays. I should do that. Oh, man, the ultimate troll. There are no jump ball plays today. Okay, it's all penciled in or in pen, in stone, all the way to the finish line. Good morning, Charleston. Yes, good to see you. Robert Smith, good to see you. I don't know what that's in reference to. They're sub-varsity officials for playoff games? So we do have a play. We have a play today. Our final play is from Michigan, and it's a not a playoff game, but I guess a game that completely impacts seeding or who advances, etc., from the league. Hey, Benedict, good to see you. Mark Asmussen, where are you? Where are you? You must be in Chicago. Okay. Yeah. I have not seen a lot of video of this actually being implemented, and I did not have it in any game that I worked. It is the last day of February. Yeah, it must be odd, right? The gym is gonna fill up and they're gonna play for a couple of minutes and it's over. Okay. Oh my God. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. I shouldn't tease that video and not have it. But needless to say, just absolutely incredible. The most incredible thing you've ever seen. Yeah. Well, like what we like to focus on here is really doing all of the things, developing our habits and fundamentals for the end of the game, right? Just when things matter most, when our decisions can impact winning and losing, etc. Now you can make the case, hey, and you make that foul call, award 2 free throws that shouldn't have been awarded in the first period. The team wins by 1. It's a little bit different, right? But as the season goes on, we want to be developing that, so that when the most important games, the win or go home games, come out, we are sharp, we are doing our best, we know all the things, we have the rules references, the situations we've seen, how to manage the game, the players, the emotions, the rise and fall, etc. And we're even keeled, etc., using all of our skills, bringing all of our skills to bear for these most important games. Yeah. Oklahoma's in the house. Oh. All right, Charles, we're not doing that FIBA thing here today. Mom comes out of the stands with a roll of pre-wrap. Okay, let's not waste any time. Oh, wait a minute. We have a special guest today. First name Wardell. Stephen Curry, 56 points last night. Come on now. Come on now. Feeling good here in Warrior Land. Good morning, Jason. Good to see you. And Phil Haddad in the house. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. All right. All right. The season winds down in one sense, winds up in another as the playoffs arrive. All of our skills come to bear. One of the ways we improve our skills is we develop an understanding of plays, adjudication, etc., so that we can get plays right. And we're doing that today. 5 plays. Stick around. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Greg Austin with a Better Official. We're looking at plays today. We're looking at our first play today, a You Make the Call play. Is it a 9-3-3 play? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Let's take a look. All right, player voluntarily leaves the court, returns to the court. The official rules a violation. Is that what you have on this play? Put your ruling down in the comments and stick around to the end of the video. You know we'll look at all of the things on play number 1. All right, moving on. Except for live stream viewers, hey, back at the start of the show, we had that You Make the Call play. Let's take a look back at play number 1. All right, team running an action where they send players from opposite sides of the court. They cross under the basket. One of the players steps out of bounds. Official indicates a delayed violation possibility. Player is the first to receive the basketball, and the official rules a violation. What's really important about this play is to understand this is why they changed the rule. This play right here, right? This player did not avoid going out of bounds and stepped out of bounds, but it has no impact on the play. So a couple of years ago, NFHS said, why are we penalizing players in this instance? Let's change the rule so that when they intentionally go out of bounds to gain an advantage and then gain that advantage and are the first to touch the basketball, then it will be a violation. Okay? Really critical to understand that, right? We have case play. And so many officials take the rule at face value. This player, whether they intentionally went out of bounds, they ended up going out of bounds. They didn't avoid going out of bounds. They were not intentional, maybe, but they didn't avoid, and they went out of bounds. And then they returned to the court, and they were the first to touch. Left voluntarily, first to touch, that's a violation. And many, I think, training across associations has reinforced this. This is not the purpose of the rules change. This is why the rule was changed. So important to understand that, right? So let's look at the case play involved here as well. A1 and A2 set a double screen near the end line. A3 intentionally goes out of bounds outside the end line to have the defender detained by the double screen. This case play refers to a team intentionally creating a situation where the going out of bounds will gain an advantage. C, A4 continues to dribble the ball while B3 recovers defensively on A3. A3 continues to cut to get open and receives a pass. So even after all of this behavior has taken place, they still pass the ball, right? They set a double screen to gain an advantage. Player goes out of bounds to gain an advantage. The player then returns to the court and is ultimately the first to touch the basketball or the next to touch the basketball, and it's a legal play. Why? Because no advantage was gained. It's critical to understand that with these 9-3-3 plays. If you get hung up on, well, they left the court, they were the first to touch, violation. That's the way it used to be. And the change was made to try to eliminate these interpretations of that rule. So, yet another. We've had so many this season of these 9-3-3 plays. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We've had so many of these this season that understanding this rule is critically important. And we have to be better, man. Our training has to be better. Yeah, that's what I have on that. Ay, that was a long... what a rant. What a rant. Sorry, Darwin, we are already painted in green. Yeah, we all know this. Hey, Umar, good to see you. Casey says that. Hoy. It really is. It really is. I mean, the fact that we have a case play that says not only does the player intentionally go out of bounds, the team ran a play to set up two screeners to absolutely gain that advantage. And then once they gain that advantage, they are then the first to touch the basketball. And it's a legal play. That gives us everything we know. Yeah. Can you clarify Benton Harbor? I don't know what that means. It is one of the keys, yeah. So in this instance, we have the player, they circle under, the official indicates. Would we indicate in this instance? I think the other factor for me here is in this situation is, did this player purposefully run out of bounds, or in their effort to simply exchange positions with their opponent or with their teammate, choose the path of least resistance? You think she's like, ooh, I'm going to like get a little further wider here. They're just like running their action. Yeah. I saw it. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. It wasn't just the ball. It was water bottles being thrown. It was, yeah. I'd like to see the full video sequence. Yeah, terrible. All right, let's see if I can regain my... Let me just try something real here. No, I don't want Don't do that. All right, we're moving on. Let's look at something else. All right, the old push through the screenplay goal is scored. Something's wrong with my stuff here, man. All right, the old push through the screenplay, scoring the goal. Ultimately, what? Oh, something's not working here. Hold on. Okay, the old push through the screenplay. We're scoring the goal. Player goes to the line, right? So 3 points. Goes to the line, makes 4 points. Gets fouled shooting a three-pointer on the rebound. 3 more points. A 7-point swing. Wow. So we've seen it. We've seen it. We know it can happen. But of course, if we look at the original play, the push through the screen, right? This is really challenging. I'm officiating this, you're officiating that. Had the player begun their habitual throwing motion in this instance when the foul occurs? I don't think so. I think we get this play wrong, right? It's a high communication play. I think, here's my counsel. On plays like this, the player did not get the play off in time, or get the shot off in they had not begun their motion prior to the foul unless you're sure they had begun their, that's our default. Prove me wrong. Yes, no, definitely he had begun. Yeah. What are you doing fouling the three-point shooter? So, a situation where we can have more communication than we did in this instance. Our lead takes it upon himself. He says, we're scoring that goal, right? I have all the information I need. If you're the trail and you're picking up the shooter, but you're also aware of the defender here. Let's take a look. Right, the foul occurs here just as the player's receiving the basketball. They have not yet begun their habitual throwing motion. They have a quick release, right? But the foul has already occurred here. Now, you may be aware of this as the trail official here, right? And you could come to your partner. Just because we've signaled the goal doesn't mean we can't fix it, right? We can get this play right as a crew. I'd be receptive to communication if my trail had something different. Partner, no, right? I know you've signaled, but no, right? So that's something that we could have on this. We do a good job of getting our shooter, right? There can be confusion. Who set the screen, etc. But we get our shooter here. They are in the bonus. He gets 2 tries, etc. And then ultimately we get the wild 7-point play. So good to see in the wild, to see that play. Always on push through screen plays, need to be high communication as a crew so that we can get the play right. So if we got this play right, we're not scoring the 3-point goal, and he just gets the 2 free throws. Maybe it would have worked out the same with the ultimate foul on the 3-pointer. But again, as the season grows nigh and games are making these decisions are critical, we need to get plays right and be ready to communicate in order to make that happen. Now, if I go here and then here, everything should be okay. Huh. Glada. After the shooter had landed, are we talking about the ultimate 3-point shot? Adam C. has correct call. Thank you, Paul. I miss, yeah. There's so much education that needs to be done about that play, about the 9-3-3. That is an excellent evaluation of the situation, Darwin. Excellent evaluation, right? But to me, it's on the trainers. It's on the people who are educating their groups. I love it. Had to be in the bonus. Had to be in the bonus. And if we look, yeah. Well, the second team listed had 4. Let's see. Let's see. 61-45. Yeah. Yeah, White was in the bonus. We'll see. Should not have. I agree, obviously. Yeah, I saw that, Mike. Yeah, yeah. We do a good job of that, and great demeanor of the crew, etc. But if you're our trail here and you're thinking that goal shouldn't have counted, then hold on. If you're the trail here, oh, that was very weird. and you think the goal shouldn't have counted, then we're letting the game down. And then we see the result, and it's like, oh my goodness. It's always a good time to have a fresh cut. Always a good time. All right, we are moving ahead. Okay. All right, we've done the push through play. What's next on the agenda? Let's take a look. Technical foul assessed to the coach. It was his own team that he interrupted. Come on now. Head coach interferes with the basketball, right? This was not a ball's coming out of bounds and the coach catches it because nobody else could catch it, right? The coach interfered with the game here by extending his arms over. This is just a take care of business technical foul. Even though his team was disadvantaged, the other team would have got the ball. The coach is confused. What? Right? This is you've interfered with the game. That is a technical foul. Simple, straightforward, right? The challenging plays that it can occur in this situation is the ball is bouncing towards the coach. Somebody's trying to get the basketball maybe, and the coach it interferes them. But was it a catchable ball? Would they have gotten there, etc.? The coach was just reacting. But this is easy. This is easy. It's just business, man. You have interfered with the basketball during the game. You have interfered with a live ball. This is a technical foul on the head coach. Yes, you have lost your privilege to stand and coach your team. Yes, I hope you hadn't had a previous technical foul because you're on the bus. Oh, so coach technical, just business, man. It's just business. It was inadvertent. Yes, it was. Sorry, coach. Unlucky. Unlucky. Oh, yeah. Now, if I go here and then here, okay. That's some old man reference. Taking care of business. I got you. Does that matter? Yes, Mr. Becker. Mr. Becker. I love the demeanor, Greg. I love the demeanor. Greg's like, yeah, that's a T. And it's just a business T. It's just business, man. Yes, I understand. Coach. But it's just business. I wonder what Mike Goodwin when they send a coach. I guess do they have to leave the building? No. So when it's 35 below and Mike Goodwin tosses a coach and they have to go sit in the frigid bus. Yes, I finally sorted that. Awesome. I'm going there. Yeah, we're looking good. Next play. There it is in the wild, the old held ball, kicked ball on the resulting throw in. We go to the other end, held ball. We award, since obviously there is no change of the possession arrow on this play, it's going to be a high communication play. People are confused, especially when everything happens in close proximity, time wise, right? The original throw in was for a held ball. During the throw in, the defender kicked the ball. The throw in has not ended by rule because the touching by the defender was not a legal touching. The clock should not have started. Whether we fix that or not is not important on the play, but the resulting throw in is for the kicked ball. So we have not completed a throw in using the possession arrow. The possession arrow is switched when the throw in ends. The throw in has never ended, thus the arrow is not switched. We try in this situation to communicate so that everybody knows, but in the end, there's confusion, right? The coach, the offended coach on the, what you're giving it to him, you just gave it to him. You just gave him the ball, right? Which is natural. They don't know the rules. I don't want to, be too much of a shock here and break it to you. Coaches don't know the rules in all situations. Let's put it that way. And many officials are not going to get this play right as well. This is a unique situation. The fact that it happened, right? Imagine that we didn't have our next held ball for 5 minutes of real time. And then there's confusion, right? We try to nip it in the bud if we can. We can't always. But this is correctly ruled. We have seen it in the wild. It's great to get these plays that we can catalog them visually so that when they occur in our game, right, recognizing we have an AP throw-in, right, and if there's a foul during the throw-in, or there's a kicked ball during the throw-in, or before, there's a foul before the throw-in is ended, there is a kicked ball, which is, defenders often, try to kick the ball on a bounce pass from a throw-in, right? So we see it in the wild. We recognize, hey, we need to be we're communicating to our table. Hey, this throw-in is not using the arrow. We are not switching the arrow here. And then we have the throw-in, right? Important to do that. But despite our best efforts, there's going to be confusion, and it's going to be a high communication situation. Oh, so here we are on the Greg Becker highlight reel. It's great to get these plays, in a visual format so that people can learn from them. I wonder what our trail's thinking here. Really? What are you doing? What's going on? I hate to break it to you, Lee. I hate to break it to you. No, Mike, I know you've said this before. The arrow is switched, lose the AP. The arrow is switched when the throw-in ends. Whether and violating is one of the three ways. Legally being touched inbounds, legally being touched out of bounds are the other two ways. So I'm reluctant to adopt that language. Oh. It's required, but there's a little bit of banging our heads on the wall a little bit in these situations. We're communicating the exact situation. There's still confusion, and it's just like we just have to recognize that. It's just like a foul. If we call a foul at the end of the first period, we have a technical foul. No, at the end of the second period, we have a technical foul. I had it, players on the floor after a last-second shot. The other player bumps him with his knee, walks over him, right? Technical foul. How are we going to resume play in the second half? There is nothing but confusion. Coaches are confused. Partners are confused. Table is confused. Wait, these free throws, where do I put them? Et cetera. So it's just some situations you just have to go through the process of explaining again, and then explaining again. Oh, yes. Well, that's a great point as well, Billy, is for younger officials. It's like, how come these guys, he's like been around for 20 years. How come he doesn't know the rules, right? When you go through the process of, I learned the rules, well, then they made some rules changes. And then they made some more changes and more changes and more changes. But that first imprint of your understanding of the rules is very strong, right? And sometimes veteran officials can get a little disconnected. They didn't pay attention in the rules presentation at the start of the year, and or in a pressure situation they default to what they believe and know, right? And that's what they believe and know may be the old imprint and not the new. But that's a great point, Billy, because that's definitely true. Oh, that is taunting. That is taunting, Ted. Yes. Are we using the possession arrow for this throw in? That's funny you say that, Tony, because this happened in a game for me at about the 3-year mark, 2-year mark. And it's like I recognized it. Nobody else recognized it. I got to come in. I got to explain to my crew, etc. Then I realized, has this happened before and I didn't recognize it? And I really think it may have. I really think it may have. That is a true statement. That is a true statement. Yes, I like it. I like it. Oh, what else do we have? Is it another Greg Becker highlight? Let's find out. All right, we've avoided fights on this season. Fights just never good in our game. What can we learn when we see a fight occur in somebody else's game, right? Because in the moment, all heck breaks loose and we are left to our own devices, etc. We want to have habits and fundamentals, right? So, first of all, on this play, if we look at our lead and what ultimately ignites this fight, let's see. Right? Shot goes up, and a player in white pushes a player on the visitors in the back. Player in the visitors does not appreciate this. Obviously, something's been brewing at this point. But if we are officiating players in our primary, and we see that's the push we should see, and when that body language of retaliatory comes at her, if we could get it right there, we can nip it, whistles, hard whistles, etc., we may be able to stop this. No, I don't want you. And then these players are not unfamiliar with the concept of fighting. That is clear. What a punch. And then no, oh man. Our center official, oblivious, gets alerted by the coach, and their first reaction is to run right into the fire, right? Is it our job to put hands on these players? Is it our job to separate these players? Or is it our job to try to encourage others to do that, right? If we put hands on players, we are at risk. We are at risk, right? Let's see what we get. But we're human beings. Oh, I want to stop that. I want to stop that, right? And then, of course, we have our new lead on the play. Does their job. Does their job. Stay there, right? Are we disadvantaging one team because they all ran on and we weren't able to prevent them from running on? That's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is, right? He's trying to identify. You got players with shooting shirts on. Not always easy, right? Ultimately, we're going to have to adjudicate how to resume the game after this play as well. So what do we have? We have two players participating in a fight. We have players leaving the bench from one team and not from the other. I don't believe, right? We have those two players participating. When is a whistle blown? Are we scoring a goal? Is anybody from white leaving the bench that's not an adult? We got this one possibly younger person in red. If they were a team member, they would be disqualified by rule. Every team member who left the bench for the visitors would be disqualified by rule. How do we resume the game? Let's say we had one from white and 6 from black, if it's black, right? How do we resume the game? There will be free throws shot, right? When we have a discrepancy, we have both teams had players leave the bench, let's say, and we have a discrepancy, right? There was 6 and 1. Are we going to shoot like 5 technical fouls, 10 free throws? No, maximum of 2 in this situation. So how would we resume the game? We would have white shoot 2 free throws and be awarded the ball, division line throw in. Obviously, the 2 players fighting are disqualified for fighting, and they will be ejected. No, they're not ejected. They're disqualified by rule for fighting. These players are disqualified. They are sent to the bench. You may no longer participate. If the coach says, you need to get out of here, assistant coach, take her to the locker room, that's fine. That's on them to do that, right? That is not our job, man. We are not sending them out into the hallway where the mom for the player for white wants to have a word and gets into it in the hallway, right? You got to be smart about that. So identify here, if we get the first action, maybe we could stop, but not always. When we find out there's a fight, we don't run into the fire. We don't run into the fire. We have to do our job here. Our job is to try to facilitate others putting hands on players, pulling them apart, etc. And then also we have to identify how many players left the bench so that we can resume the game by properly adjudicating the situation, which I hope I did. Hey, I've got a big question, Mike. I thought it was Peggy. Mannix, Peggy. But somebody the other day said Gail. Well, have I been wrong all this time? Who takes care of your paperwork and makes appointments for you? Who is it, Mike? I gotta know. Oh boy. Yeah, our old lead, right? If we watch them, right? Nobody's aware of what's going on with those players here. We're in transition. He runs up on it. It's like, whoa, whoa. And his first reaction is to go in. Don't touch the players, man. Don't touch. Don't touch. Not our job at this level. When you get to NCAA women's or NCAA men's, right, where there's a lot of money, D1, there's a lot of money involved. A lot of money. They say protect our players. You can do that kind of stuff at the high school level. We're just setting ourselves up. Uh, let's see, Jason, how could the lead have missed this? Well, first of all, there was a drive down the lane on the play, but how could they have missed it? Usually involves a neck that looks like this. Oh yeah. So the other thing is our official pulls out something from his pocket and starts writing stuff down. This was once advised to me. You should always do this. Like have a little pen. At the collegiate level, oftentimes we'll have the crew. We'll say to the table crew, "I need you to." Because there's plays I want to review. Hey, I'm going to give you notes during the game. Hey, 3:43 second period, right? Just put down that timestamp on my notes. But in this situation, it's like you may want to get your scorer involved early and say, "I'm going to talk to you now. Write these numbers down." Right, we're writing numbers down. I had a fight a couple years ago, and what chaos, man! Man, that's legit punching. There's where our Mannix reference comes in. Indeed. So if it was 6-0 or 6-1, Gail. Oh my. Oh, the actress. Oh, now I'm even more confused. The actress or the character? Al, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, phew. All right. Peggy, Gail, got it. Awesome. Uh, well, personally, I'm not thinking about self-preservation as much in that instance. It's just like if you see this what from bench personnel or whatever, they grab the player around their body so that they hold their arms down, right? They pin their arms to keep them from getting into trouble. If we do that, it's like can't do that, man. Can't do that. First of all, you're doing that to a female player. There's issues related to that. But second of all, you do that and some kid comes up and sucker punches the player while you have their arms pinned. There's just the potential for disaster. Maybe he is a hockey official, Mike. Maybe. Or maybe he's just using his meta glasses. Press the button and it says, okay, record these players coming off. Yeah, we're avoiding that. But we've been able to avoid also fight videos all season long. Obviously, someone we don't want in our game, but our habits and fundamentals, when they do occur, is critical. Let's see where we stand. We're going to Roscommon. All right, so we got a play here. Again, the preface here is this play, a crucial game on the team's schedule. Very important game. So, and the result of this game impacts their, I guess, league championship or postseason, etc. But let's look at our next play. Who doesn't love a little palate cleanser, game-winning basket, excitement reigns? Except this is not a palate cleanser. This is a situation where we have made some mistakes as a crew, right? Last second shot, 1-point game. We want to call the obvious, but we want to be aware of the things, all of the things that could occur in this situation. First of all, our team that is leading has 2 team fouls. There's a limited amount of time remaining in the game. In this situation, we may have the team attempt to take a take foul. Take fouls are a part of the game. They are accepted strategy. They are allowed, right? If they inbound the ball and we have a take foul, what's the result? Out of bounds throw in. The clock has run. They do it again. We have another foul to give. The foul to give, right? They come out. This is their strategy here, right? We have a thrower, right? Player gets the ball, take foul, no call, heave for the basket, 3-point goal, right? Has this team in white been wronged? Yes. Yes, they have. They fouled. They expected a whistle to be blown. The officials were not aware of this strategy occurring or ignored the fact that these take fouls occurred. Was there anything else on this play that was missed? Let's take a tragic look, right? Our crew is in good position, right? Our trail official is officiating off ball as there is no defense being played on our thrower. Our thrower appears to step onto the court. This is a throw-in violation. Ball should have been awarded to the white team in this instance. Ball is thrown in. Defender, take foul, not called. White 4, take foul, not called. Player steps. Where did they step? Where did our shooter step prior to releasing the throw? This is a backcourt violation by rule. Ball should have been awarded to white in this instance. So we have missed 2 violations and we have ignored 2 take fouls. Now, why would we ignore 2 take fouls in this situation? It's not being aware that this is a strategy that teams can employ. We have to be aware of what teams are trying to do. If this was the defense and they had to get to bonus, what do we call the first light touch, right? Give them the foul that they want. Intentionally taking a take foul is accepted practice by rule. We just have to be aware of these things in games, that it may be a strategy used by the team that is ahead. So we have let our teams down in this situation. We have missed 2 calls that would have affected the outcome of the game, missed 2 take fouls that would have affected the outcome of the game potentially, and that's not what we want in critical games. We want to be our best. I'll tell you who is the best, and that is our tremendous show supporters. I want to shout them out today. Much appreciated, much love. If you've found content valuable during this season, we have one more show. I'll put a link up above. But in addition, we have additional video content that you can take advantage of here, and we'll see you, yes, in the very next video. Take care, everybody. Except for live stream viewers, we will go to see all of the things. Whoops. That was wrong. Oh, no. A grave injustice has occurred in this game. I want to do this and that. Well, they should be hate getting called for stepping on the line on a throw-in. Yes, they should be very upset at that, of course, since that is obviously not a violation. Over the line is the violation when you step. You have carried the ball onto the court, I believe is the official language of the rules book. Oh my goodness. You're killing me today, Mike. That's awesome. Yeah, excellent rules language, which is so archaic, carried the ball onto the court. Oh, yo. Well, at least they didn't call a shooting foul on the take foul there. It is a violation when the player steps on the court. To contact the court, either with their foot or an off-balance player puts their hand down to regain their balance. Contacting the court is the violation. As sometimes when we're adjudicating throw-ins, right, we see that player step forward, they step on the line, and our brain says, patience. Lynn, you have summed it up. We just have to be better than this, right? We have to be at our best because we affect the outcome of the game in this situation. Now, you could say, look, this same play occurs, 2 minutes into the game, or we missed the throw-in violation. Yeah, we did. Are they the same? No, they're not the same. They're just not the same. Oh, awesome. Okay, now let's take a look at what led up to this situation. And I will do that by going here. Was I talking over that the whole time? All right, let's go here. All right, so here we are with 27 seconds. White scores and requests a timeout, right? They're ahead. Not something you expect to see, but again, this team is ahead of the game. They want to set up their defense. What are we going to do? We're going to take foul, take foul, take foul, right? You know, our visitors have thrown the ball in, right? So we have a breakaway, no call, good. Immediate request for a timeout. Our crew was out of position, right? Can happen. Our center had come up. We are not aware of this timeout request. Black throws the ball in. We immediately respond to the request without verifying that it was legal to do so. Right, there's confusion. Was a whistle blown? Was the timeout granted, etc.? What should the time on the clock be in this situation? Are we aware of that? Let's take a look. If we grant there, it's 24.3. Clock continues to run. Was it ever, these kind of things are just bad mistakes. Awareness of the crew. Let's see. Black coach says, what the heck is going on? Let's see if we get the clock right. Right. Our old lead becomes new trail on the throw-in. Okay. Oh, we did put some time back on the clock, right? We're guesstimating. Right, our coach pumping up the crowd. Apparently they're not attempting a foul at this point. Let's take a look. We are allowing them to run the end line. I think he is telling them they have a foul to give if they need it. They are not fouling. Rebound and foul. We're going the other way. Right, 7.1 on the clock. We've got our shooter. I think in this state, the official stays opposite. Right, so our coach is now working with his team. If we can be aware here of what they're doing, talking to the assistant. Right, our coach wants a timeout. The ball is live. Not being aware of the first request, that's bad. Granting after the ball is live, that's bad too. Right, now our coach is saying to his team, here's what we're going to do. Right, we're going to use take fouls here. Watch the language, the body language, etc. Right, he knows we've got this game. We have 2 fouls. We're going to exhaust clock. We're going to take away their opportunity to win the game. Some officials will, try to be aware of what the team is trying to do strategically. You could ask, right, or find out. Are you guys fouling? Knowing that they have that opportunity, right? Take foul. Oh, no, the black coach called the timeout. Again, we're just oblivious to what they want to do here. Black's going to call a timeout. We have a throw-in spot. All right, let's watch white coming out of this timeout. right? Black could go for the three. They could go for the two. We want to be aware strategically. We want to be aware of who the shooter is, etc. But mostly we want to be aware of what the foul count is here. We're telling the coach he's used his final timeout. Right? We don't want to foul. Teams shouldn't want to foul before the clock runs. Right? Our white team feels aggrieved. I was fouling. I was fouling her. We were fouling her. And they were doing so in an acceptable fashion. Yeah. Not our feel-good moment at the end. So I get it. Oh, I love it. I love you guys are killing me today. Oh, that's what the sweet Jesus is referring to, man. I am slow. I'm a slow on the uptick here. Awesome. Awesome. Yes, yes. Hey, all they've got to be, man. All the officials manual says, what does it say? Mostly black, predominantly black, not all black. It doesn't say that. Or at least it didn't used to say that. The officials manual has changed. I don't even know what it says anymore. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's a good lesson, right? And especially if you're the young official on a crew. It's like you got to help. You got to save your crew here. You got to like help them out, right? The situation. You can impact the game, right? It's like let's get together, right? If so, we're getting together with seven. We're at any point. Let's go to the spot. Let's talk about strategies, what they need to do. They need a 2-point goal, right? They may go for three, etc. They have fouls to give. Be aware of a take foul. If we have a take foul situation, first breath, right? Slightest touch. If they want to foul, give them the foul. Do what's right for the game in that situation. So it's good to see these situations so that we can learn from them. Well, I think you couldn't ask more from these players in this situation. They reach out, they put two hands on, right? This has been, if they did this during the game, at any other point during the game, they'd put a foul on it. This was ignored. This contact was ignored in this situation. But it doesn't mean your sentiment is not incorrect. That's a good point. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? If we can understand what a team is trying to do, either directly or indirectly, does that make our job easier? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Right? So let's say the tables were turned and a team was down in this situation with 7 seconds remaining. They're down by one, right? If we know that they're going to try to trap and get a 5-second violation or force the other team to try to request a timeout because they're out of timeouts or, whatever, before fouling, they're going to look for the steal, then foul, right? That's a very common strategy. We give them the opportunity, and then when the foul comes, we put the foul. But we also understand the impact of our whistle in those situations. If I rule a foul here, what will the result be? Out of bounds throw-in, right? So does that give me leeway to err on the side of Maybe they didn't actually intend to, but I know that the result will be. That could be another episode of 5 Play Friday After Hours, Billy Mack. Yeah, and if you be aware, just out of this, you hear the coach, take one, foul him, right? Even if he says foul him and we foul, is that an intentional foul? No, there's case play to support us. There you go. Official meets the requirement. I don't understand collecting the ball here. And you know what irks me? Let's see. Is our little jog at the end. We're good. We are leaving the court. Don't start running. Don't start running. It's so performative. What? I don't know. I don't think, I mean, there's that little jog at the end, which I hate. But they were not like, oh, we're running away from this game. Oh, game's over. Let's get out of here. They were all sort of like headed back. What do you, I guess, oh. All right. I'm doing really well for time. I have done a great job today, don't you think? I got some gremlins, but for the most part, pretty good. And I think I've figured out the sound from the video for the most part. I think there might have been a glitch in there, but Kamali, I'm saying goodbye. Yeah, I think that's why the case play exists, where even if the coach says foul, and it's obviously done intentionally, it is a recognized part of the strategy of the game and is acceptable, and a take foul should be ruled. Now, obviously, if we shove somebody, that's excessive contact, or don't make a play on the ball, or grab a jersey, or as Billy Mack pointed out earlier, take fouls can be done poorly by players, not in the misogynistic way that he framed it as a coach of girls for 20 years. Hey, coaches respect that, man. They respect it. Just give us a heads up. And they're like, yeah, this is what we're doing. We're trying to do, right? They don't want you to do something, to miss something that they are trying to do strategically. I will. I'll tell you what. I will put this video. I'll put this segment and the video up on YouTube as a separate. How about that? Yeah. I mean, if the obvious strategy is, right, they're down by one, the other team gets a throw in, they have 2 team fouls, right? If they don't foul, the game will be over. Will they foul? Yes. They will foul as required, right? They may go for the steal. They may go for a trap. They may go for a 10-second violation. They may do these things, but ultimately they have to foul to stop the clock in order to have a chance to win. Yeah, they didn't in this instance, Billy, but I would say those were take fouls that were universally recognized as acceptable. There was no play on the ball, but they intentionally put 2 hands on the ball. That is a a very common and I would say very acceptable method of taking a take file. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll post it on YouTube in its entirety, separated. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. That's gotta be IAABBO, whatever it is. All right, cool. I have made it. I've done it in a timely fashion. Look at me. I feel proud of myself. Proud of myself. All right, we've got one more live stream to go next week. Be there or be square with more musical references that I will get a few minutes after it's posted. All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you next time.